episode 120.
Are you ready to take your eBay business to the next level? Then hold on, because Ron and Ali are going to take you into the fast lane with the latest tips and insights from some of the biggest and most successful sellers here on the So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast.
Welcome once again to another episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. I'm Ron LeBeau.
And I'm Ali Young.
Hey, everyone. We have with us today John Davis. John, how you doing today?
Good. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good here in St. Louis. Ali, how you doing in Thailand, sir?
I am doing fun. I've already spied on John here, and we're going to have fun here. I can see the kid coming at us here.
Pictures to follow for sure. So John and Denise are the owners of Sarge and Red's Hobbies and Games. John goes by the nickname of Sarge, is a Marine Corps veteran, and his wife, who goes by the name of Red, began their store with donated items to raise funds for an adoption. They've been selling on eBay since and enjoying life. So, hey, guys, that's really awesome, John. Great story there, buddy.
Thanks.
Yeah, this is I don't know. I remember being a school kid, and you got those cards, and you're swapping cards, or you're beating kids up to get their cards, And so is that you? Is it you that kid in the schoolyard, and you were wheeling and dealing cards?
Never was really wheeling and dealing. So basically, I remember I used to play Magic back when I was in junior high or high school or whatever it was. And then, my collection, I think I ended up selling it when I was in the Marine Corps because you're not going to carry around boxes of cards.
Looks
right?
a bit weird,
right?
Doesn't it?
Yeah, just it's a little strange. So I ended up selling that collection, but we were having a fundraiser. My parents were throwing a fundraiser for us to try to raise funds for an adoption for our son. And helping my buddies, like, hey, man, we don't got any cash, but, have these old cards. And I was like, I remembered Magic. I was like, oh, yeah, I had some fond memories of the game. It was a little foggy, but I remembered the game. So I was like, okay, cool. So, I'll get these and I'll check some prices and see what these are going for. And, much to my dismay, some of the cards that were valuable when I was a kid were no longer valuable. I was like, oh, that's a $20 card. I was like, nah, it's 20 cents now. So I reprinted them into oblivion and the price kind of dropped. And then I just started going through each individual card. I had a duffel bag full of cards. They were in boxes, so they're in good condition. But basically, I started going through all these things. Every single card, I'm typing in the name on eBay and pulling up prices. And about, I don't know, maybe 2,000 cards through, I realized that the symbol was a different color, and that actually said what rarity it was. And I was like, okay, well, the rare ones are probably worth more money. And so they're checking every single one. Right. So I started doing that. But, yeah, that's how I got started on eBay. I had bought stuff on eBay before, but that's how I got started selling stuff, was with that collection, and it's grown since then. I've just meet people off Craigslist. I'm actually meeting a gentleman today after this interview. I'm going to buy a collection from him, and I've kind of branched out from just Magic. I'll do other like hobby games and things like that, and basically anything I can find.
Well, very cool, man. So your eBay store is Sarge_and_Reds. And unbelievable, man. You've got some really cool things here. I mean, you've got a collection. And just so you know, we're going to put a picture of your file cabinet behind you. 'Cause I can't describe this thing. It's just really cool. So definitely check the show notes page for this picture, because it looks like a library. Yeah. I mean, it looks like the Dewey Decimal System file cabinet. Yeah.
They're actually a file. I got them off Craigslist. They're from a college up in Maryland somewhere. I bought them from a lady. I got 3 of them. They take up the entire back wall. I'm probably going to need to get some more of them. But they actually were full of the card catalog cards, and I was going to throw them away, but then I looked on eBay, and I was like, people are buying these things. So I sell the catalog cards that came in that people use them for invitations or book. I don't know what they use them for, but I've been selling those pretty steadily, too.
Unbelievable.
So,
very cool.
Pretty much anything I get my hands on, I'll sell.
How many cards have you got to date, then?
I probably have maybe $1.5 million.
Set $1.5 million.
Probably, roughly, yeah.
That is incredible, man. That's like, oh my gosh, unbelievable. And how do you keep track of these? I mean, obviously that Dewey Decimal System file cabinet behind you, but how do you log each individual card?
So I basically have them by set. So all the cards are in different sets. So you got edition, New Phyrexia or Origins. They all have these different names of the set. So basically, I break them down by set, and then I alphabetize them by that set. The ones that I have listed online are in this catalog behind me. Then the rest, because I don't list every single one I have. If I have 300 of the same card, I'm not going to list 300 of them. And I do that because if the price goes up and someone buys all 300 of them for a lower price, then I'm kind of out the money. But if I list 20 of them, and then someone buys me out, and I sell them all really fast. I go and check the price and see if it's gone up or down. And if it's gone up, I adjust my price accordingly, and I haven't sold out of all of them. So down in the basement, I have all the rest of them in white cardboard boxes by set and color and alphabetized down there. So there's a lot of them.
This is incredible. This is really so. If you for every little card, one card, let's just say one card, how quickly would it take you to find this root bound Crag M11 LP Magic?
Yes.
You want me to find it?
How long would it take you to find it?
Love it. He knows exactly. Look. You see his eyes. He knows exactly where it is, Ron. Exactly.
I know he does.
Rootbound Crag M11. It's going to be under here, under R.
The man is actually going to the. Oh,
here we go, right here.
Look, he's found it. He's found it. Ta-da! The champion.
Unbelievable, man.
So it's pretty
wow.
quick now that I got a system down, and they're alphabetized because you just know where to go.
You don't
Kudos,
man. You don't want to test this guy, Ron. He's serious business. So okay, so you're out on the street. So you meet some dodgy bloke in an alleyway, getting some more cards. I mean, have you ever? How do you know? Like, so you said you've obviously got multiple ones, but have you ever found one that you haven't found yet? You know that one card that you've been hunting down.
Well, there's some of the higher end stuff, like from the first sets. Those ones, they're rare. I mean, they're really hard to find. I know what they were and I know what they were worth, but I have not come across any of them in the wild. I've had people who've had good collections with those cards, and we've made deals to buy those collections, but it's not one that's just like, oh, hey, look what I found. It's typically someone knows what they have, and they're like, hey, I know you're selling them. Are you interested in buying these? So with those cards, I typically, I know what I'm getting. I talk to the people. I go, and you have to look at them because there's counterfeit cards. People make fakes. So I have a jeweler's loop you have to use, and there's some tests. Because there's cards that are worth $10,000.
Oh, wow. So they were actually fake. So you go in there like Sherlock Holmes, and you vision the card.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. You got a jeweler's loop, and you can check the different, the rosettes and the patterns and everything. And there's different tests you can do to actually tell if the cards are genuine. And I've had people try to sell me fake cards. I'm like, no, you get one over on Sarge.
Right.
And they're like, oh, I didn't know. Yeah, you knew.
Yeah, you did.
But
yeah.
So I've had a couple of those, but basically, I'll go meet these people. And when I first started, I didn't know as much about them because I was just getting started. But now, I mean, most cards I could tell if it's like $1, $2, $5 to $10, $100 card, or I'll know it's worth something. I mean, the prices fluctuate daily. They have actually like a stock market page for these cards. So
no, seriously,
I have a good idea. What's that?
Seriously?
Yep, it's called MTG Stocks, and they have a stock market ticker. Prices go up and down. They have a little thing across the top. It's crazy.
So this is I'm excuse my ignorance. I've never seen these. I'm used to Teenage Ninja Turtle ones, but are these like?
I probably have some of those somewhere.
Yeah, I bet you do. So is this like a game? Is it or is it?
It is.
And is it an American game or is it an international game?
No, it's actually worldwide. I mean, it's pretty popular. They play it all over the place. I have cards that are in Russian, Spanish.
Oh, wow.
All kinds of different, like Korean, Chinese, Japanese. It's a worldwide game. They do tours, pro tours. People win lots of money and play it. I mean, they'll have it on Twitch TV and things like that. So they actually have pretty big tournaments. A lot of people play it. It's pretty intense.
So would you collect Russian, Chinese? I mean, are you into all of that as well? Or you just...
I have them. I don't specifically look for them. I mean, if someone has them in a collection, I'll have them. I don't specifically seek out those ones just because, one, they're harder to decipher. I mean, I'll know what the card is, but like especially with the Korean, Japanese, and Chinese, I'm like, I don't know which one this is because the language is the same.
You're conning me on.
You can tell. I just have to look them up each time.
I tell you what, this is. I don't know where I've been. I've never heard of magic like this before.
Yes, come on, Ron. So have you got your? We see the cupboards behind you, but where's your stash? Like this secret, like you got this secret box that's sort of drilled into the floor, haven't you?
Now there's a safe in the basement with the expensive ones in it.
So you have a secret stash. Do you like this is yours?
I have a secret stash. Yeah. I can't tell you about it. It won't be a secret.
Yeah. So you just told us you've got one, right? Where do you live? What's your address again?
And again, nobody's.
You don't want to try.
No, I bet you got a gun.
Want to try to get in here?
Yeah, probably not, man. The guy's a Marine sergeant, I guess. I don't think so.
Some sniper rifle on the roof. So
yeah,
interlocking fields of fire. Come on,
it's brilliant.
Right. Very cool. So you've been doing this for how long now?
I guess since about 2003.
And how long full time?
I'm not doing it full time. So right now this is all part time. I still have a full time job, and I do this on my off days. And
yeah, in your quote unquote spare time, right?
Yeah, my spare time, which I don't have. So
right.
And then you have people working for you. I mean, do you have people like listing or shipping?
No, right now it's basically I do all the listing. Denise, aka Red, does all the packing, and then our nanny, she helps sort the cards and stuff when the kids are sleeping. So, and then I do everything. But I basically have those people helping. And I'm looking to try to get some other help just because there's so many to sort. But right now, it's basically just the three of us, and I do the majority of the work. But I enjoy it. It's fun. I like doing it.
I suppose you need to, don't you? Because you're the one that sort of understands these cards. You're the one that.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, Denise would probably have no idea.
Yeah, it's the red one.
Yes.
That's the difference between someone who's selling like I don't know, Nike shoes and someone who's selling something that you sell. I mean, because you really have to know each individual card. You have to know if it's a fake. And I mean, obviously there's fake Nike shoes and all that good stuff as well, but you really have to know the authenticity of it all. And is someone going to sell a $3 card that you could get $40 for? You need to be the one to know that, right?
Yeah, basically you need to look at the collection and be able to come up with a value and I guess a range of what you're willing to pay for it where you can still make a profit. So sometimes you'll have people who list every single card they own out and like, this collection is worth $3,000. And you look at it like, no, it's probably worth about $20 because it's all the bulk stuff, which you really can't sell. I mean, there's cards that are a penny each and it's just, I mean, you really can't sell those on eBay. No one's going to buy them. And that's not time to ship them. So those ones basically I'll make into like packs and then donate or give to kids and stuff.
So for Ali's sake, because he doesn't know anything about this Magic game, does this Magic game still go on, or is it just a collector thing?
Nope, it still goes on. There's actually a new set that's getting ready to come out in a couple weeks, and I think there's about 3 or 4 more sets coming out this year. So they typically come out with about 4 to 5 sets a year, depending on how many specialty sets they put out.
Did that help you, Ali?
No, I'm sure it helped you. I'm sure it helped you, Ron. Yeah. No. He's feeling left out now. 1, he's in America, and 2, he's never heard of the Magic Show. So, so this sort of stuff, you don't just ship it in an envelope, do you? Is it like special delivery? You have a pigeon flying it
Some
out?
of the stuff, if it's a cheaper card, I'll typically just ship it in a plain white envelope. I put it between, I use cardboard sleeves to protect it through the mail. And if it's more expensive, I put it in a heavy top loader, like a plastic protector, and put it in a bubble mailer and just ship them out that way.
Sort of recorded delivery like that.
Yeah, depending on the price. I mean, if it's a 99-cent card, I'm not going to ship it with $3 shipping. It doesn't make sense. So
no, that's not a very profitable business, but the real reality.
Not really.
And you would ship worldwide as well. You'd ship to Thailand for my 2 collection.
Yeah, I'll ship you to Thailand.
Nice.
$75.95 for shipping.
The shipping might be a little more.
Yeah, exactly. So I can vision your house at Christmas with the kids. Are you actually playing this with these cards, or?
We'll play every now and then. My son's a little too young to really play it, but I'll give him some of the cheap cards that aren't worth anything, and he'll run around. Daddy, I got an island. I'm like,
one day he's going to grow up and listen to this podcast show. You know that I just give him the cheap ones. Yeah.
Exactly. He's going to be like, oh, I knew it.
Yeah.
Telling me it was a rare.
That's awesome, man. So I see you've got 100% positive feedback in the last 12 months, and obviously we talk about it all the time on the show, but really the positive feedback is priceless, right? I mean, I would imagine you would probably do most anything to keep that positive feedback, right?
Well, not most anything, but yeah, I do a lot. I think a lot of it's
there's a certain level I stop
at. To be clear. Yeah, but you got to look out for your customers. I mean, I think most of it's customer service, and every now and then I'll make a mistake, or if the post office makes a mistake and the card gets damaged, I'll just eat the cost, because that's just part of the cost of doing business online and through the mail. I don't have to worry about shoplifters, but the post office will lose things or something will get damaged in the mail. It's just cost of doing business, and I'll try to help the customer out so they're happy at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there has to be some kind of concessions on what you can and cannot do, but for the most part, I mean, you've got positive feedback. I'm sure you've had some challenges, with customers potentially, right? And having to keep that positive feedback. What was the biggest struggle or biggest objection you've had with keeping the positive feedback?
I've maybe had 1 or 2 negative feedbacks since I've been doing this. And typically I'll just contact the seller or the buyer and be like, hey, listen, what can I do to make this right? There's always errors in transactions, or the mail gets lost or something like that. So I found that, typically the phone number's in there. I'll call them up and they're like, oh, wow, I'm shocked you actually called me. I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And just talking to people. And I think showing people that it's another person on the other end of the computer. It's not just a computer screen. So I think a lot of times online, not just selling, buying and selling stuff, but just in general, if you look at some of the feedback people put in news articles or the comments they put, I think people lose the fact that you're dealing with another person. Yeah. And I think sometimes if you make that phone call, and they actually hear that it's another person, and you're like, hey, what can I do to make this right? And 9 times out of 10, or every time I've done that, I've had a positive outcome with that. So.
And that's a valid point, because when I go on eBay and I see someone that has sold as many, you've got over 9,000, almost 10,000 feedback. I think, wow, man, it's probably a decent sized company. And I mean, what are they going to do? And then for you to call me personally, and that would carry a lot of weight.
Yeah, I think and every time I've done it, people, most of the time they seem kind of shocked, like, wow, hey, that's cool that you called me. I didn't expect that. And they're like, don't worry about it. I'll change the feedback and whatever.
Cool.
So
yeah.
I've had a lot of success with that.
So are most
Very
of the
awesome.
people buying from you, are they sort of like collectors themselves?
Most of them are, I think, players. I mean, some cards are, I'm sure, collectible items. And I sell more than just the Magic cards. I have Dungeons and Dragon books, but the majority of the stuff is Magic cards. But most of the people buy them. I think they're just people that are playing. And sometimes it's probably other sellers. Like if I don't update the price and it shoots up in value. Like the other day, I had a card that I had listed for $2, and I think it sold for $20 because the price just jumped up, and I didn't catch it in time. So I just packed the card and sent it off. A lot of sellers will actually cancel the orders, and I don't do that. My feedback, my integrity, and my honor is worth more than the $18 I would have made if I would have relisted it at the higher price.
Exactly.
You have to have good customer service, and so you got other guys who are buying and selling, and they'll buy from me if I have a cheaper price or if I don't catch the price when it shoots up. So I think, but most people I think buy to play.
I just wonder, I would imagine, with your specialty here, I mean, obviously you said you sell more than just the Magic cards, but that's a big part of what you do. Do you have like repeat customers that know that you are, good with your the quality of the card is good and everything you do is good and the shipping and all that is on time? I mean, do you have repeat customers?
Yeah, I do. There's a lot of people that I'll see their name pop up again, and there's people that'll contact me. Hey, I bought these cards from you before. I was just wondering if you had any other ones like this one in stock that you don't have listed. And I'll go find it. Be like, yeah, I have this one in stock, and then I'll list it for them, and they'll buy it that way.
And you find that in 10 seconds, right?
Well, sometimes it's a little longer if I don't have them sorted back here. So if it's one I don't actually have listed yet, they're sorted. It maybe take me 2 minutes to find.
Yeah, so that's a bit slow.
I have to walk down the stairs.
That's not acceptable.
Ron and Ali will be right back after this short break.
Life is full of numbers. Our brains process literally hundreds of numbers and equations every hour of every day. When it comes to your business, give your brain a break as well as peace of mind that the numbers are figuring up as they should with MyCost Pro. MyCost Pro is an easy-to-use automated eBay bookkeeping program for Excel that imports sales data directly from your seller account. MyCost Pro automatically generates accounting and performance reports to show you your true bottom-line profit. You can even view and edit active listing details such as price and quantity and relist unsold items directly from MyCost Pro. All you need is Excel on your Windows PC. Take control of your business and free up those long nights of crunching the numbers. Visit mycostpro.com for a 21-day no-obligation free trial using coupon code PODCAST, exclusively for So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast listeners. It's only right around the corner. Ecom Chicago 2017. Innovate, inspire, and grow. Join us October 19th through 21st in Elk Grove Village, Illinois, for the 4th annual event that focuses on e-commerce and business growth. Hear strategies from expert speakers. Learn new ideas and techniques that will help to develop your business. Speak and network with like-minded online sellers, as well as experts and mentors who will be available throughout the event, such as Jason T. Smith, Kathy Terrell, Eddie Levine, and Peter Cairns, just to name a few. The wealth of experience, knowledge, and enthusiasm is sure to be mind-blowing. Go to ecomchicago.com for more information. Sponsorship opportunities available. New this year for attendees is a pre-event vendor showcase on Thursday, October 19th, where our participating vendors will be giving live, focused demos on their product or service.
Be sure to check out SoYouWannaSellOnEBay.com for the latest podcasts and all the information you need to get selling fast.
So let's talk about this filing system, because obviously you've got this filing system because prior you didn't have this filing system. You obviously started out like most people in your bedroom or something. So talk about how you went from not being able to find the card to I mean, that was amazing. You were straight. Your eyes knew exactly what draw. So how did you get to that point? Because that's the part that a lot of people struggle with. Because eBay, you start small, and then as you expand, and now you can't find that jumper. So what was your system of getting that in place?
Before it was similar system. It was just smaller scale since I didn't have as many items listed. I'd use the small white boxes. Basically, they're cardboard boxes that are designed for trading cards, and I'd have them in there. And they're still sorted, but I didn't have them by each set. I'd have them by color, and they weren't necessarily alphabetized. But I didn't have that many, so I just have to go. Okay, it's a blue card, and I'd go through 1,000 blue cards, and it would take me longer to find. I was like, there's got to be an easier way to do this. So then I was like, all right, well, let me start alphabetizing them and put them by set and all that, so I could just go to find them. I mean, it makes it so much easier when I'm pulling an order of 200 cards. It takes me a lot less time than if I'm going through and trying to pull them just from one box where they're sort of kind of sorted, but this way they're sorted, they're alphabetized, and then I'll know if one's out of stock because I have them in little sleeves. I'll pull it out. I'm like, okay, this one needs to go, and I'll go down to the basement, pull some up from stock, and refill it. So that way I kind of keep my inventory stocked. I keep it in stock for people so the next person can come buy the same. So you can come and buy that card.
Yeah.
Or you.
Yeah. I'll buy
I have plenty for cards all the way around, right?
Yes. See, that's brilliant. I mean, that's the way to do it, because just by what you were saying there, you could waste so much time just trying to find one card if you didn't have some sort of system in place. Yeah,
without a system, it would make it a lot more time consuming. And like I said, I'm doing this on the side part-time still. So, anytime I can save and cut off, the more I save time packing, the more I get time to list. And the more I list, the more I sell.
Yeah, you look very, very organized, and I'm sure you've got good systems in place, man. I mean, and obviously it didn't happen right away, but I'm sure fine-tuning the systems that you have, especially doing this part-time, has really made it a lot easier for you.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. But like I said before, just trying to pull through 1,000 cards that were all blue and knowing that I'm looking for a card in there and they're not really in any order, and just, sifting through them and all, and then you don't find it. You're like, I missed it. You go back and you do it again. Well, now I know exactly where to go. And that's the one thing. Anyone who's doing something on eBay, whether it's, a million cards you're trying to list or, clothes or whatever, you need to have some kind of inventory system to find it. Because if you lose something, and then you might get negative feedback because, hey, you don't want to tell a customer I can't find, this romper you were looking for or whatever you're selling. So you just need to have a system, whether it's bins and, UPC codes. And I mean, I'm not going to UPC all of these, obviously. That would be insane. So I had to find another way to sort them.
No doubt, man. No doubt. But I wouldn't have been surprised if you said you did, because you seem like that kind of person.
That takes a special kind of crazy.
So do you have spreadsheets and stuff? Do you know, so when something's sold, you mark it off as sold, or do you keep track of what you had and what you have at the moment, stuff like that?
Not past the extent that I have them sorted by set and then have them cataloged. Like I said, I keep them in the sleeve. So say I sell 10 of them and I only had 10 left up here, I'll have the sleeve and I have the name written on it, so I know, okay, I need to get this one. So I'll grab whatever sleeves I have, go downstairs and refill them. And if I'm out, I'm out. Right. And then if I buy another collection and it has those cards in it, that I know, okay, good, I can go stick those back in and get them back in the rotation.
And you would remember that. You would remember that card, because I would have just, that blue card, though, you would actually remember when you're out in the dodgy alleyways that you need that card.
No, but I'll know it's from that set. And then I know when I take the sleeve, they're in like clear plastic sleeves with a name written on it, and I keep them in front. So if I pull out one of these card catalog things, in front of all the cards I have listed for sale are the empty sleeves with the name of the card on it. So I know I need that card, and I just go down and get it. Or if I get that set in, I'm like, all right, well, I know this set has a lot of New Phyrexia, and I need, Triumph of the Hordes from New Phyrexia, so I'll go and grab them and pack them.
So I want to know, just for personal, what's the best card you've ever sold? What out of all the years you've been doing this, what was that gem that was like the deal of the day?
Most valuable card, or the best
let's
card?
Go with the most valuable.
Most valuable one I've probably sold was about $3,000.
Jeez, wow, that's crazy.
Wow, man.
Yeah,
as long as you didn't pay $29.99 for it, that's a great deal.
As long as it was $29.99 with a decimal point between the first and second nine.
There you go.
But yeah, no, that was a good sale. And I got other ones that are, valuable. And like I said, they fluctuate in price a lot. So, you'll have a card that and the thing that I like about the way I have them sorted is if the card shoots up in price. Like there was a card the other day that went up from like a couple pennies to $4. So I was like, I know I got a stack of them. I went downstairs and I grabbed about 30 of them and I listed them all. And, I started making all the money off of it. So the fact that they fluctuate like that, I know where I can go to get it without having to dig through piles of cards, has made me money in the past. So, the cards, like I said, they fluctuate in price. If you get one that jumps up 2,000%, you go grab what you have and you list them. And typically, if you're one of the first ones to list them, you start selling them faster because there's no one else has found theirs yet and gotten them up and listed yet. So the faster you can get something to market, especially if it's something that just jumped in price and everyone's kind of in this hype and this buying frenzy to buy it, if you can get it up fast, then you could sell it at a premium before everyone else starts coming in and flooding the market.
So you really have to keep on top of all this stuff then. I mean, is it like this? You mentioned it's stocks. So is there like you're watching?
There's a page, yeah. It's got like a stock market ticker, and it shows where the prices fluctuate up and down. And you can look at some cards where the price, just it tanks because the card gets reprinted, or you can see where it shoots up because the card got unbanned, and you can use it again and play. Nice. So yeah, every morning when I get up, I'll look at the page and see what's jumped up in price. And typically I work late, so I get off at 4:30 in the morning, and then I'll see what pops up in price, and I'm awake. Most people aren't, at least on the East Coast. So I'll go find them and throw them up before they even wake up. So.
Yes, wow, it's. Loving it.
That's crazy. I think I'd be obsessed with that website, to see what the value of these things are, right?
Well, it just changes daily, so you can you see it once and then you're good for the day.
Not every second. Okay. Not every second.
Like, not every second. No, that would be insane.
Right. That would be like insane. A ticker tape. That's awesome. Yeah.
Because you'd be listing. Oh no, it's gone now. So unlist and. So you are the guy that takes the picture. You're the guy that lists it. I mean, you're working.
I pretty much do everything, with the exception of I do everything, but I have help with the sorting of the cards and alphabetizing them, and I have help with the packing the cards and shipping them out. So.
And you're just using a normal bog standard camera.
Yeah, for the stuff that I'm taking camera or photos with the camera, I just use my phone. For the most part. Most of the pictures of the cards that I use are stock photos, unless it's an expensive card or it has excessive wear and I want to show that.
Right.
So a lot of the cards that you see are actual, they're just stock photos because you know what you're getting. You can see it. Then I'll put the condition after the name. It'll be like LP for light play and M for near mint. And if it's worse than that, I'll typically have an actual picture of the card so people know what they're getting. Because if it's heavy play, I want you to see that it's, got all this wear on it and everything, what you're getting when you pay for it. Whereas if it's near mint, everyone kind of has an idea of what that means. So. Yeah.
And so you never, like eBay don't come in and say, right, you've got to prove that this card is real or something? I mean, no,
I've never had that.
You never had a problem?
No, the only time I've ever had eBay contact me about a listing, I had some toy cap guns listed, and I didn't have the orange thing in the tip because they were like antiques from like the 50s. So you need to just put new pictures up. So I went and got some of the little caps you put in the ends, and I put them in there.
Huh. I'm loving it. So we're running out of time here, but just like the question I always like to ask, because we like to bring people back on the show later as well, is where do you envision yourself in the future? Are you going to leave the corporate job and then do this full time? I mean, what's your plans?
That's the plan down the road. Right now, I have about 5 years left so I can retire from my job. So depending on how everything's going with this, that's like my 5-year plan. We'll see how it goes. My job, my goal is to retire, and then we're from Michigan. We live in West Virginia now, and actually move up there and open up an actual location, like a store where we can have people come in and do tournaments and all that stuff. But for right now, obviously, it's going to be out of the house. Yeah,
the plot thickens, man.
And
incredible.
The great thing about it is you got that 5-year plan, but you're already set up just to when that plan kicks into place. You are ready to take this larger scale, yeah.
Yep. We're looking at some commercial locations up there right now, just kind of getting a feel for the, what the market's like up there. And, hopefully we'll be able to make that happen and go up there and we'll have Sergeant Red's Hobbies and Games and have a hobby shop, maybe have a little, coffee shop inside of it and bring in people that may not necessarily come in to play the game, but they'll, I'm going to go get some coffee, and they'll come in and we're going to have other games and stuff, not just Magic. Some family games and things like that. So we want to draw more customers than just the base that I have now. I want to, people to come in that are interested in other kinds of games, so I'll draw them in with something else and then have other games and maybe get them to cross over and into Magic or whatever and have them buy that stuff too.
I think it's really cool that you and your wife both have nicknames. I mean, that I think that's pretty rare, but that's really cool. And Sergeant Red, that's really cool. And I think if you did, have a coffee offering, you could actually call it like Sarge Bucks or something,
Actually, I have a video I did online, and I have my coffee cup and it has Sergeant Reds on. I got my Sarge Bucks right here. So I already used that one. So
awesome.
That would be fun. I think Starbucks might sue me if I actually had a business called Sarge Bucks. So.
I don't know if they could, but who knows, man? That'd be cool, though. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be neat. So that's the plan, anyways. So
this game, just okay, I've got so many questions for you, but we're running out of time. So this game is like domino. It's like So you have a card, and then, I mean, how does it work? They've got a higher card than you, or their card's going to kill your card?
It's a strategy game. So the cards represent spells, and each player is like a wizard or what's called a planeswalker. And basically, each card has a casting cost, and there's what's called mana. So each card is represented by a land. So, forest makes green mana, islands make blue mana, swamps make black mana, so on and so forth. So you'll have a card, and the casting cost will be up in the top corner. Will be like 1 green and 2 of any other color, and you cast that, and you play a creature card. Each player has 20 life to start, so you just kind of go back and forth. And there's strategies that, you could play a card that goes based off of another card. And it's very in depth. It was created to. You hear my clock? My clock's going off. I have a cuckoo clock. It's a Marine Corps cuckoo clock that
nice.
It's a bulldog barking.
You just love fun in your house, don't you? You just like anything that's got something weird about it. Let's bring it into John Davis' house.
There's nothing wrong with fun.
No, there's nothing wrong.
Before we go, John, can I request that you not sell a single card to Ali? See, we're trying to build a business, and I know Ali is very obsessive and compulsive. And I think if you gave him 1 or 2 cards, I'd never see him again. The show would die, and yet he'd be the number 1 magic person in the globe. Because that's how Ali
can win lots of money if you win the tournaments.
Is it?
Okay. I'll send you a free couple cards.
We didn't need to know that either.
Ron, new business empire idea, Ron. We enter into these tournaments and win some cash, and we get a coffee. Sergeant, Sergeant Bucks. Brilliant. Well, this has been brilliant, John. So grateful that you joined us today. It's you've got this. Just is another proof. We have so many people who sell so much different stuff on eBay. And again, here's a passion of yours. You're bringing it on eBay. It's becoming successful. It's becoming something you want it to be. It doesn't matter what you sell on eBay, as long as you've got that oomph, as I like to call it. It's a British word. Oomph is like that power to move forward. So thanks so much for joining us, John. It's really been great chatting with you.
That's been great. Thanks for having me, guys. It's been fun.
We'll post all today's interview on our show notes page, which can be found at www.soyouwantasellonebay.com/show notes. We will also have John Davis's picture. He's done a selfie for us. We had to Photoshop some stuff out. But no, I'm joking. Yeah. No, but John, before you go, how can people get in contact with you? Other card dealers, or what's the best way to communicate with you?
Probably the easiest way is you can go to our website. It's sergeantreds.com, and that has all our contact information, our Facebook page, our Twitter feed. Our email address is sergeantreds@gmail.com. So if you're in the DC, Baltimore area and you have a collection of cards that you're looking to sell, you can shoot me an email, and I'll be happy to come out and look at it and maybe make a deal. Any other collectibles you have, just shoot me an email. You never know, I might be interested in buying it. So.
I've also I thought Sergeant had a T in it, but that's just me.
Well, that's Sarge. That's kind of the nickname for Sarge.
So this is Sergeant with a D. It's probably the only way it's spelled, but nonetheless, Ron will correct me later because he's good at that sort of stuff. But thanks very much for joining us. There's also a great resources page we have on our website. It's soyouwantasellonebay.com/resources. Major links there. We take all the links that people suggest through these interviews, put them on the page so it can help you out and help grow your business. From everyone here at So You Want to Sell on eBay, I'm Ali Young.
And I'm Ron LeBeau.
That's all for this episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. Be sure to check out our next episode or any past episodes by going online to soyouwantasellonebay.com. Also, be sure to follow us on your favorite social media sites, facebook.com/So You Want to Sell on eBay, and Twitter @Your eBay Podcast. Thanks for listening. And until next time, happy selling.
Have an idea for a topic or know someone who would like to be on the show? Let us know. Just go to www.soyouwantasellonebay.com/interview. We look forward to hearing from you. This podcast was produced in part by Pro VoiceWorks.